Okay, hello everybody. This is Lama Caroline. I'm here in Gangchen Rinpoche in Malaga, Andalusia, Spain, and we're going to continue with the explanation of NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing. And actually, we're talking about Rinpoche's past lives at the moment. Okay. Okay. So first, let's do some prayers together. Yeah. It's always beneficial to do some puja, no? So we're going to do the preliminary practices of NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing. Yeah. So hopefully you all have a copy. If not, you can get from our website, ngalso.org, if you'd like to join in, okay? Namo Gurubhya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Gurubhya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Gurubhya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Triratnaya, Sangye Chudan Sogi Chunamla, Jochu Badu Dani Kyapsuchi, Dagi Jinsogi Pesonaki, Trola Penchi Sangye Drupasho, Sangye Chudan Sogi Chunamla, Jochu Badu Dani Kyapsuchi, Dagi Jinsogi Pesonaki, Trola Penchi Sangye Drupasho. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until enlightenment, and through the practice of generosity and the other perfections, may we become Buddhas for the benefit of all sentient beings. 7 limitless thoughts. Samchen tamche dewa dan dewe gyudan denpa gyuchi. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. Samchen tamche dunyel dan dunyel gi gyudan drawa gyuchi. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Samchen tamche dunya mepe dewa dami drawa gyuchi. May all beings have the great happiness that is beyond all misery. Samchen tamchen yeri jada nidan trawe tamnyon la nepa gyuchi. May all beings be free from attachment to dear ones and aversion to others. Samchen tamche lusen giduhunele soshin trayun lusen dewadan denpa gyuchi. May all beings recover from all the sicknesses due to body and mind pollution, and have relative and absolute health now and forever. Yeah. Samchen tamchen also tochi china no chu koyu dan shin samane gyuchi. May all beings relax and recover in a pure and healthy outer and inner environment now and forever. Samchen tamche dansan buli hingi kiedo tadan china gi shidedan dun kundun kempa gyuchi. May all beings experience inner and world peace now and forever. Yeah. Okay. So we need to imagine that around us is our city, our friends, our family, our city, our country, our continent, the world. Yeah. So we send all these positive wishes that people have peace and happiness and no more suffering and that people have health, which obviously is very important at the moment with the pandemic, and also very important that our environment improves, which depends obviously on our own behavior, collectively, and especially may all beings have inner and world peace altogether. So we all strongly wish that and send these wishes to all beings around us, okay? Okay, now some more of the NgalSo preliminary practices. Tamchedu ni sashita semala sohame padan la tiltanyam peturye ranshin jam pohone gyuchi la dami chupese no susham dahani kitro kunsan chutrin lana me Nanke kangu hunkya gyuchi onamo bhagavati vanzazawa pramadani tatagataya ahate samya sambudaya kayata om benze benze maha tetsa benze maha vidya benze maha bodhicitta benze maha bodhi mandrapa sankramana benze sawakama awarana bishadana benze soha puncho sungi dempadan Sangye danjan chu sempa tam che gi ji gi la da so ni yo su zo pe na dan chen po da chu ki yi nam pa dan chin sangi mi kya pe togi de shin yu du gyu chi. So make this world become a pure world, like a very peaceful and positive place for everybody to live in, And then by the power of the truth of the three jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and by the blessing of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and by the great strength generated by the two accumulations of merit and wisdom, and by the power of the Dharma Dhatu, by the power of the sphere of reality, by the power of the truth of emptiness, by all this may our offerings become real, Okay, now invocation. We invoke Lama Gangchen Rinpoche and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all the holy beings. Malu Sam Chen Kungi De Kungyu Chin Du De Punja Hemi Se Jom Se La Nona Malu Yanda Kengyu Pe Chom Den Ko Chehene Di She Su So. 7-limb prayer. Gosungu Pe Go Ne Cha Se Lo No sha yitro chupa malubo top mene sakti tun tam chesha kepa ge wahanam la jeira kuwa mato badule shune drola chuki koloko wadan dan shen jena jan chu chempu no. Mandala offering. Sajipuki Joshi Metotram Rirali Jini De Gyempadi Sangye Shintu Mite Bowai Drokunanda Hashin La Chupasho Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamiryatayami. Request to the lineage gurus, especially to Kyabje Trijang Dorji-chan. Lozan Gyalwa Kungi Sheni Tritu Drime Gyalten Zimpezo Ratan Kilko Gyasan Trudun Kun Trinshen Lame Shabla Sowade Om A Guru Vajradara Sumati Gyana Shasanadar Samudra Sibhadra Sawasiti Om A Guru Vajradara Sumati Gyana Shasanadar Samudra Sibhadra Sawasiti Om A Guru Vajradara Samati Gyana Shasanadar Samudra Sibhadra Sawasidi Making request to our root guru, TYS Lama Gangchen Rinpoche. Lochozam po pal gyuta shipa tu chentem pehetrilaya noda pegyedro lozam peze pachen Palden la mehesha blaso wade Oma guru Vajradhara Suhumahati muni Shahasahane kama Uttavadanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasidi Huma Guru Vajradhara Suhumati Muni Shahasane Kama Uttavadanye Sri Bhadra Vasamanya Sawasidi Huma Guru Vajradhara Suhumati Muni Shahasane Kama Uttavadanye Sri Bhadra Vasamanya Sawasidi Hakyoke Kuda Dahagilu Hakyoke Sunda Dagina Hakyoke Duda Dagi Danyamachi Tujigilo Makyoke Kuda Dahagilu Makyoke Sunda Dagina Makyoke Tuda Dagi Danyamachi Tujigilo. Okay, so we imagine that Rinpoche comes to the crown of our head, of all of us, all over the world, dissolves through our central channel, and mixes with our subtle mind at our heart. Lama Gangchen, Trinchen Sawe, Lama Gangchen, Lama Gangchen, Kyabne Kuntu, Lama Gangchen, Lama Gangchen, Trinchen Sawe, Lama Gangchen, Lama Gangchen, Kyabne Kuntu, Lama Gangchen. Okay, so it's important we feel Rinpoche here in our heart, yeah? That his holy mind is influencing our mind in a positive way. And if we open our hearts up to that, for sure will happen. Yeah? Okay, so let's start, yeah? So we're going to continue with the explanation of NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing based on Rinpoche's book, the NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing 2. Here's a copy, the one I've got, yeah? Okay. So at the moment, I'm explaining the preliminary practices, and I'm explaining the Rinpoche's lineage of past incarnations, yeah? And actually, when there's a commentary on the Tantras, this is actually quite normal. For example, if you have a commentary on, let's say, Vajrayogini or Chakrasamvara or some high Tantric commentary like this, yeah? Then always at the beginning, the Lamas, they explain the quality of the Lamas that founded the Tantra, no? The ones that had the realization and then pass on through the successive generations, yeah? So they always talk about the greatest Mahasiddhas of the lineage, like, for example, if we're doing, for example, Chakrasamvara, actually, we'd also talk about Rinpoche, actually, because we talk about Dharikapa, yeah? Or, yeah, but anyway, or Vajrayogini, we'd also talk about Rinpoche, yeah? But anyway, yeah? It's like this. So therefore, I thought we should, because we're explaining Tantric Self-Healing, and also Tantric Self-Healing in detail, but we should spend some time to look at Rinpoche's past incarnations, yeah? Okay, because we have obviously a long lineage going back to the historical Buddha, Shakyamuni, and then we have a close lineage coming directly from Lama Gangchen Rinpoche, yeah? And then actually we have another, actually quite long lineage, which is Rinpoche's past incarnations, yeah? So let's just quickly refresh our memory. Okay, where did we get so far? Okay, so far actually we did 7 of Rinpoche's past lives. So let me think. What did we do? First, we did Vihara Devi, yeah, which is the first. All these lives, by the way, is what Rinpoche himself told me. Yeah, I mean, regardless of what our official Gelugpa histories say, because maybe our Gelugpa Lamas, they count in a different way, I don't know. But Rinpoche, he told me about this. He said, my past lives are these ones, okay? So I'm just sharing with you what he told me, okay? So his first, let me just find the document, okay? So don't forget, yeah? So Rinpoche, okay, first life is this lady, Vihara Devi, who was an Indian princess who actually ended up in Sri Lanka, yeah, okay? And there's a temple on the coast yeah, of Sri Lanka, which is dedicated actually to her, okay? So that was Rinpoche's first incarnation. I talked about that a few times ago, okay? Let me just find actually the list, yeah, okay? 1 second, yeah? So I don't forget anything, yeah? 1 second. Okay, so we talked about, okay, so Rinpoche's first known incarnation actually is a lady, okay? Because of course we've all been man and women many times. We've been everything, no? Okay, in the course of our many incarnations, yeah. Okay, then Rinpoche's second incarnation that he mentioned was the last priest of Delphi, and it was the priest of Apollo in, I think, the 4th century of the modern era, yeah, of what we call the Common Era, yeah, okay, which means like the Christian calendar, okay. So he was the last priest of Apollo before the Persians came and took over, yeah, okay. And then the Apollo cult, let's say, of Delphi fell, and also the oracle tradition fell, yeah. And then some hundreds of years later, the next lifetime that Rinpoche remembered was as King Raja Indra Sailendra, who was in the 8th century of the modern era. And he was the Javanese king of the Sailendra dynasty that organized the construction of our favorite Borobudur Mandala in Indonesia, yeah, okay. So Rinpoche very strongly felt that was him, okay. Okay, that's number 3, okay. Then number 4, actually is Mahasiddha Lakshminkara, very famous female Mahasiddha, who's very, very important actually within she's influential in the Guru Samaja Tantra, the Yamantaka Tantra. She's the founder of many special Vajrayogini lineages, okay. So that very, very strongly and clearly is Rinpoche's in all his namthas and biographies, okay. And that's actually quite unusual. Not many Tibetan lamas have this kind of past. I mean, of course, everybody has an incarnation as man or woman, no? But not so many of the lamas say, actually, in my past life, I was a woman, yeah. But Rinpoche said, oh, okay, I was a woman. I was this female Mahasiddha Lakshminkara, yeah. Actually, at the end of all this, I'd like to go back a little bit to, if you like, yeah, to Dharikapa and Lakshminkara and read some more of their poetry, their tantric works, because they're extremely beautiful and very powerful, yeah. Because I think I didn't really do them enough justice, yeah. So at the end of all this, we'll go back a little bit, okay. Okay, so there's Dharikapa and Lakshminkara, 2 of the 84 Mahasiddhas. So if you look in the 84 Mahasiddha collection of Abhayadatta, you can find something of their histories there, okay. Okay, so hang on, where do we get to? Viharadevi, the priest of Apollo, King Sailendra, Dharikapa, Lakshminkara, and at the moment we're on, oh yes, then there was, what's he called? He was a disciple of Pamasambhava. I forgot what it was called actually. Because I'm looking at one quite old list, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I forgot his name, yeah. Very important Lama, who was one of the 25 disciples of Pamasambhava, yeah. So that's number 6. Now, actually, we're talking about number 7 when Rinpoche was Tropu Lotsawa, okay, yeah. Tropu Lotsawa. So the Tropu Lotsawa was an important Tibetan Lama from the Sama, the new period of Tibetan Buddhism in the 12th century, okay? So the last one and a half times I was talking about him. Why I was giving him a lot of time is because when Rinpoche in 1993 came back from Borobudur and he said, I had a vision, I'm sure he did, absolutely sure, that he had a vision of his gurus and all the Buddhas giving him permission to share the NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing. Then he came back to Italy and we start to do the practice together and he started to say, oh, this is like, what I learned when I was Mahasiddha Dharikapa. Now I want to give you the same possibility of realization, but in an easy way, yeah, in the NgalSo way, yeah. So we start with him to do the NgalSo Tantric exercises. And then at the same time, he arrived from India, one book from his past life called the Menak of Tropu Lotsawa. And I was saying last time that inside there are all these incredible teachings, like, for example, self-healing, opening the chakras, cleaning the chakras, shooting star power, like many of the things that we actually do within our books, yeah, within our self-healing. And Rinpoche said he got a lot of inspiration for his self-healing from his own previous life's works, yeah, that he would then got the copy and had a look at, yeah. So that's why I'm spending quite a lot of time on Triple Lutz Hour, but I personally always found that very interesting, yeah. So the last time we were talking about how Triple Lutz Hour, a little bit about him, how he was a leper, yeah, got leprosy, but then he cured himself through the practice of Buddha Chenrezig and through doing the Tonglen practice, which is breathing in, absorbing the pain and suffering of others, and then sending your love and compassion and positive energy to them, yeah? So it's like recycling, no? All the horrible things you take, all bad energy, and then all the love and compassion and light you send to others, yeah? Very powerful healing practice, yeah? Okay, so Triple Lutz Hour did that, yeah? And then last time we were talking about how Triple Lutz Hour, he invited 3 important yogis to Tibet, yeah, who became very influential in actually the foundation of modern Tibetan Buddhism. The first one of which was called Mitra Yogi. And I spent quite a long time talking about him because he had like all these like superpowers based on the fact that he had control of the elements like space, wind, water, earth, and fire, yeah? So what we were talking about last time, he was like, for example, walking on water, floating on water, sitting on a cloud. He could like stay in a fire, on a funeral pyre, unharmed. He could be buried alive, yeah, no problem, yeah. That's because he had this power of the elements, yeah. So in the ancient times, the yogis really used to have this, you know, not just the yogis. Even, for example, if we look at the works of the historical Buddha, Shakyamuni, yeah, even in the works of the Theravada tradition, they explain how to meditate on the elements, to manipulate them in a positive way, yeah, to making peace with the environment, yeah. And so in the ancient days, this was possible because the elements were more clean and pure and powerful, and also people's minds were more clean and pure and powerful. I mean, for us nowadays, even like to not get a headache and to be quite somewhat healthy would be our realization of making peace with the elements. That would be quite good, yeah. But in the past, yeah, things were more easy, yeah, for the meditators, yeah. So they could manifest more of these qualities, yeah. I mean, in this past life, no, Rinpoche led, he spent a lot of time as a healer, bringing people's elements back into balance, yeah? So he's still working with the elements. And he taught all of us, his followers, all kinds of incredible methods and meditations to work with the 5 elements, yeah? So if we want to follow NgalSo, that's very important, yeah, that we, you know, start to do these different element practices. And as we go through the explanation of self-healing and Rinpoche's works, I'll explain in detail how to do, okay? Now I'm going to spend some time still talking about Rinpoche's past life, and then we'll go into the technical stages of the NgalSo practices, okay? Starting with NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing 2, okay? Okay, so the first Lama that Rinpoche in his past life as Triple Lutz Hour invite was called Mitra Yogi, super famous, and the Mitra Gyatso cycle is still very important, even in our Gelugpa tradition, even to this day, yeah, okay? So he was the first one, yeah, okay, the first yogi, yeah. So now the second yogi that Rinpoche invite, yeah, actually was in the year, actually, it's even written down on the 7th day of the 6th Tibetan month of our year 1204, yeah, okay. Triple Lutz Hour invited another great Indian master called Buddha Sri, yeah. So, yeah, and this one, what they did together, remember them. They were Triple Lutz Hour and his uncles. They'd established one monastery, yeah, called True Gompa, which is a branch of the Kagyupa tradition. Actually, the Kagyu tradition, yeah, the tradition of Marpa, Milarepa, and so on, yeah. There's actually like I think 8 great branches, and in total 16 sub branches. So the True Kagyu tradition was one of the 16 sub branches of the Kagyupa tradition, yeah? And in its time was a very important branch, very important monastery with many, many great yogis, yeah? These days, since modern times, since the Cultural Revolution, the monastery is very, very small, but for hundreds and hundreds of years, it was an important place for meditators, yeah? So anyway, so there in the True Monastery, yeah, which is about 2 hours from Gangchen, the Indian master Buddha Sri and Triple Lutz Hour, they built one huge Maitreya statue. So Rinpoche, since many, many lifetimes, has had like this strong connection with Buddha Maitreya, yeah? And in this lifetime, he definitely manifests this, yeah? He had the Maitreya Big Love Project, yeah? He put many, many statues around in India and Nepal and Tibet of Buddha Maitreya, like huge ones, yeah? And he emphasized very well, his nature was like that, no? Love and compassion, yeah? He was totally altruistic, yeah? And that's why we've had a very strong feeling to be around Rinpoche, because he had unconditional love and empathy towards everybody around him, no? And actually, now that we're building Rinpoche La Stupa in Albaniano, on the top, the stupa has a cube, no? Like the earth element, then a dome, the water element, and a spire, yeah? Okay? And, it's the 5 elements, yeah? And in the front of this stupa, there's a little door, yeah? Like a kind of arch, yeah? And inside there's going to be a beautiful golden statue of Buddha Maitreya, yeah? Which actually represents Rinpoche's feeling, doesn't it, yeah? Actually, that's, Also, when Rinpoche took his Geshe degree in India, he offered a very big tanker of Buddha Maitreya to the monastery, to Sera Monastery, yeah? So since the 13th century, Rinpoche has had a very big connection with Buddha Maitreya, yeah? Okay. So anyway, so here's the story of how Trungpa Lotsawa invited Buddha Sri, and he came to Tibet, and they built the huge, big means big, not like this. It means maybe 60 or 70 feet high, let's say in European measurements, 20 or 30 meters high, really big, okay? So anyway, so Trungpa Lotsawa went to Nepal to invite this teacher, Buddha Sri. So they offered the guru gold ingots, yeah, many gold ingots, yeah, to come to Tibet. So it wasn't oh, I'll give you 100 euros or 1,000 euros. Maybe offered him, I don't know, let's say 100,000 euros or something, a lot. In those days, people really gave value to the Dharma, yeah. And in the ancient tradition, it was like that, yeah. Not because the lamas were materialistic, but because people really gave value to the spiritual teachings, okay. So anyway, so all the money that Trungpa Lotsawa had received in his life through teaching and things like that, yeah, he converted it into gold bars, and then he gave it all to Buddha Sri, yeah, okay? Okay, so then actually Buddha Sri came back to Tibet with him, yeah? And then they built 3 huge Buddha Maitreya statues. So one was at Trungpa Lotsawa, and it became called the True Jamchen. Jamchen means the Great Maitreya statue in Tibetan, yeah? One at Nyamring Monastery. Actually, Nyamring was Geshe Kelsang Gyatso Monastery, yeah? Very famous Geshe Kelsang Gyatso, who's the founder of the modern Kadampa tradition, and, so famous, so many thousands of centers all over the world. So his monastery actually also is not far from our Ganshan monastery, yeah? And so that was called the Nyam Jangchen, yeah? Okay. And so this Nyamring monastery apparently was also the monastery where the very famous Mahasiddha Tangtong Gyalpo used to reside, yeah, okay? And then later on in Tibetan history, it became a Gelugpa monastery, yeah? Tangtong Gyalpo was another Mahasiddha, super famous, yeah? And he had, of course, all kinds of superpowers, yeah? But one of the things he was famous for was he was the one that built the first suspension bridges in Tibet, yeah? With iron chains, yeah? So he was kind of also an engineer, yeah? And so he did a huge social service of allowing people to cross across the river valleys, which are really powerful and full of torrential rivers and very dangerous. Because if not, you had to go I don't know, hundreds of kilometers around to find a passing place, no? So amongst the other marvelous deeds of Tangtong Gyalpo, which is many, he's built many suspension bridges and allowed the people to move from valley to valley in Tibet, no? Anyway, so Trungpa Lotsawa with Pandita Buddha Sri, the glorious Buddha, they built one huge Maitreya statue at Trungpa Monastery, the other at Nyamring Monastery, Geshe Kelsang Gyatso Monastery, yeah, and the other at Ro Monastery, Ro Jamchen, yeah, okay. So actually this Buddha Sri, yeah, Trungpa Lotsawa had given him all this gold, yeah, but of course he's a Buddhist master, so it's well, what am I going to do with it? So then of course he used all this gold to build all these massive Buddhist statues, which is generally what Buddhist masters tend to do with their money, yeah. They don't say, okay, I'll get myself a condominium in the Bahamas or anything like that, yeah, okay. they use their money to create punya, yeah, to develop the Dharma, to build Dharma centers, monasteries, to make offerings, to spread the Dharma, yeah. So of course, this is what Buddha Sri did with all Triple Lot's hours money, yeah. So didn't take it back to India and retire in Varanasi, yeah, and in a 10-floor building or anything like that, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so after this, Buddha Sri, after all this was inaugurated, then Buddha Sri said, okay, thank you. And then he went back to Kathmandu. His job was done, okay? Okay, so that's the second one, yeah? Okay, then the third one is super famous in our tradition. We need to know about him. He's called Kashmiri Pandita Sakya Sri, yeah? So our Gangchen Rinpoche liked this Kashmiri Pandita Sakya Sri a lot, and he always used to talk about him, yeah? At least to me anyway. Why? Because also he has a big connection with our Dharma protector, yeah? Okay? Everything's like connected, all our gurus and the protectors. It's super interesting, yeah? Okay? So let me tell you the story of how Kashmiri Pandita Sakya Sri came to Tibet on the invitation of Rinpoche when he was Trupul Lotsawa, yeah? Yeah? Actually, Kashmiri Pandita Sakya Sri is a past incarnation of our Dharma protector, yeah? Before he arose as the Dharma protector, yeah? So you can see also Rinpoche and our protector, our world peace protector, since lifetimes they have many very strong connection together, yeah? Okay? So Trupul Lotsawa, with a group of disciples, close disciples, they traveled to India in search of Sakya Sri, who was the abbot of Vikramshila Monastery. Yeah? So like I said before, there were 3 very famous monasteries in India in the late Mahayana period. The first one was Nalanda, yeah. The second was Vikramshila, and the third one, now I forgot, yeah. I said it the other time, yeah. There's 3 famous ones, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so Trupul Lotsawa and his small group of friends, they wanted to go to find Sakya Sri, but they were going to go to Vikramshila Monastery in North India, but they got lost, yeah. So they got lost in the dense forest. In those days, India was not like modern India, no? There were many, many rainforests, yeah? So it was very difficult, yeah? So in the forest, there were many snakes, it's true, no? And snakes, many kinds of animals, many thieves, and many kinds of spirits. So basically, they had a really unpleasant time, yeah? Crossing through this wilderness, yeah? And they had many, many difficulties to face, yeah? But finally, unharmed, yeah? They reached Assam, yeah? And there in a town called Bedur in Assam, they met the Pandita in the marketplace, yeah? Accompanied by a group of finest scholars of the Indian Sangha. So I don't know if they were going shopping or something. Maybe they were. It's possible, no? I mean, Buddhist masters don't just sit in monasteries, no? They go around everywhere. So actually, also in the Perfection of Wisdom teachings, no? In our Gye Tongpa, the 8,000 verse Perfection of Wisdom, it's the story of this bodhisattva called Bodhisattva Always Crying, yeah? He was looking for the Perfection of Wisdom teachings, yeah? And there's many, many chapters with all the Buddha's Arhat disciples explaining about emptiness, yeah? But he still doesn't get it. And finally, he gets to a marketplace and he meets one guru who's playing like a little harp, yeah? Okay? And in the marketplace, very busy with a lot of shops and things going on. And this guru is playing the harp, and he sits there and listens to the guru playing the harp, and he understands the nature of reality. Yeah? So many important teachings are being given in marketplaces. Yeah, we should not dismiss marketplaces as a place for gurus and yogis. Okay. So anyway, so he met the guru there. Yeah. Together with the finest scholars of the Vikramshila monastery. Maybe they were, I don't know, maybe they were buying robes or something, yeah? And why Sakya Sri actually was in the monastery? Because he'd had a vision, while he was meditating, and he knew that, because he didn't have a smartphone or something, but anyway, he had a vision that Trupul Lotsawa and his disciples were coming from Tibet, so he went to meet him. So he went and sat there in the market till he showed up, yeah? Yeah? Like ancient internet, yeah? Yogi internet, yeah? So then Trupul Lotsawa went to Sakya Sri and said, homage to Buddha Amoghasiddhi, yeah? Homage to you, the son of the Sakya, yeah? Crown ornament of those who've mastered the 5 sciences and who maintain the Vinaya, the monk's moral code, yeah? So then Trungpa Lotsawa offered Sakyasri a copy of the Heart Sutra with gold writing, yeah, okay? And then also some gold, yeah? That was the sort of international Buddhist offering currency in those days, like some gold bars, yeah, okay? And then some gold silken robes, yeah? He's a monk, no? So he needs this zen, no? A beautiful golden yellow one. And also a gold yellow silken canopy, because above the, well, actually, I mean, it's India, no? So, of course, you know, if you sit outside, you need like one canopy to stop the sun from hitting you. So this is how this tradition started. They would put like a canopy between trees, or they would put poles, yeah? So when you give teaching, you don't get like sick from the sun, yeah? So always above our Buddhist teaching thrones, we have one canopy, yeah? Okay? Which, of course, in our tradition now symbolizes protecting from the heat of delusions. But originally it was to protect from the actual sun. Because nowadays they're like inside, no? Okay, so at that time, Sakyasri was 73 years old, which is actually quite old, yeah? And he'd been in Vikramshila for 50 years, yeah? Okay? So in the ancient times, you had to be about like 20 to enter a monastery to become a gelong, to become a fully ordained monk. So since he was in his early 20s, until then he'd been in the monastery. So he started as a novice and gradually, you know, he studied and practiced and finally become the abbot of very important Vikramshila monastery, yeah? And so all across India, across Asia, he was famous as a scholar and a logician, yeah? And as a very famous author of many books on the sutras and the tantras, yeah? So, of course, when Trungpa Lotsawa asked him to go to Tibet, the monks were absolutely against it. They said, absolutely no way, we need you here, it's impossible, you cannot go, what will we do without you? How will we run our monastery, yeah? So what Sakyasri did is he entered into retreat for 5 days and he prayed to Guru Buddha Tara for advice, yeah? Okay? Actually, the same like Atisha did, actually, yeah? So then Tara appeared to him, yeah? Directly, like one person seeing the other, and she said, actually, it's better if you go to Tibet, yeah? Okay? Yeah? So himself, he decided he'd like to go to Tibet, yeah? But then it actually adds in the biography, yeah? Okay? This is actually what it says in the Tibetan history, that the Tibetans, they bribed the guy who worked in the temple, yeah? So what they did is they took the temple attendant, he turned the precious images of Mahakarunika Avalokiteshvara and Buddha Tara, very, very precious statues that have been blessed by the great master Nagarjuna, yeah? So in the night, he turned them so they're facing towards Tibet. So then they all woke up. They said, it's a miracle, look. The Buddhas have turned and faced Tibet, yeah? Okay? So anyway, so the Tibetans did like that, it says in the Tibetan history, although actually Sakyasri himself had already actually talked to Tara, and she had said she'd already convinced him it was a good idea to go to Tibet, but the problem was to convince the monks, yeah? Okay? Okay, so in the Vikramshila monastery, it was like an Indian monastery, so they were brilliant at all these kind of things, like middle way, Madhyamika. They were fantastic at ethics. They were experts on the perfection of wisdom, on grammar, on the Abhidharma, all these incredible things, on the Bodhisattva Charya Avatara of Shantideva, on the Kala Chakra. They were like all super at all these kind of things, yeah? So all these like great teachers of the monastery, they were all very critical of Trungpa Lotsawa, saying he was too young and he was not a good translator from Sanskrit to Tibetan, and he didn't know anything about the Buddha's teaching, yeah? So it would be a waste of time for their abbot to go to Tibet with him, yeah? So they're very critical, yeah? So then Trungpa Lotsawa said, okay, let's make a debate, yeah? If I win, you have to agree, and Sakyasri can come with me, okay? And if you all win, your guru can stay. So then they agreed, because that was the normal Indian terms of debate, yeah? If I win, you get to decide. If I win, you know, I get to decide, okay? So they agree like this, yeah, okay? Shake hands, yeah? So anyway, so Trupo Lotsawa, he debate with each one of these panditas, and he won, actually, he won all the 9 debates, yeah? So then they had to keep their agreement, which is you won, it's your terms, yeah? So then reluctantly, all the panditas of the monastery, they agreed, and they allowed Sakya Sri to go to Tibet with Trupo Lotsawa, because remember, going to Tibet was not like nowadays. Okay, well, before the pandemic, yeah, and hopefully afterwards soon, yeah. It was just, okay, I get my passport, I see the travel agents, and I go, and it takes me like, I don't know, like 1.5 days to get there, and then I go for 2 weeks, and then I go back home. Not like that, yeah. Going to Tibet would take like months or years to get there, and who knows when you would ever get back, if you would get back. So it was different, no, in those ancient times, no, like Marco Polo, no. When he went to China, no, it took him like 3 years to get there and 3 years to get back. So, it was a big thing traveling in those days, no? But anyway, they had to agree, yeah, okay? So anyway, so Trupo Lotsawa set off with his party, yeah, with his friends, together with Sakya Sri to Tibet. And it says that soon after this, yeah, the Mughals, this is actually true history, yeah, the Mughals arrived and they burnt Vikramshila monastery to the ground, yeah. This is, unfortunately, that's one of the things that happened in Indian history, yeah. And the Mughals, it says that it's believed that the Mughals mistook the monastery for a fortress, because it had like big walls around it, yeah, which actually is to stop the monks from going out, yeah. So they just think about the Dharma, but the Mughal army, who didn't know what it was, they thought it was a castle, yeah. So then they attacked it and destroyed it and killed most of the monks, yeah, and burnt everything, all the libraries and everything, to the ground, unfortunately, okay. So actually, Trupo Lotsawa actually saved Sakya Sri by taking him to Tibet, yeah, okay. Okay, so then they went to Tibet, yeah, but it was, of course, a very difficult journey because a king on the borders, he closed the roads, yeah, and probably demanded lots of money, as usual, yeah. So then they had to go around, yeah, which was very, very difficult, yeah. And they had to, and Sakya and Trupo Lotsawa and the Tibetans, they had to carry Sakya Sri and the 9 panditas, who, they also came to Tibet, and they had to carry them on palanquins, like 2 sticks, yeah, with a seat, yeah. So not only did they have to walk up the mountains, like very difficult, but they also had to carry 10 people on their backs, yeah, okay, all the way up the Himalayas, yeah, okay. And then the 2 Buddhas, yeah, the image of the Chenrezig and the Tara, the ones that the Tibetans had paid somebody to turn their faces to Tibet, yeah. Then they also brought these on a cart, yeah, I don't know, with oxen or with horses, yeah. So anyway, so it's quite a big party, a big traveling party. 10 gurus on palanquins, 1 cart with 2 big Buddha statues, and then all the Tibetans walking, going along, yeah, okay. Okay, so finally, Sakya Sri got to Tibet and he became super famous, yeah, okay. And he was actually the last Indian master ever to come to Tibet, yeah, and teach the Dharma, yeah, okay, yeah, because at that time the Mughals invaded India, and it was actually the end of Indian Buddhism, yeah. So it's like the end of the era, and he was the last great master, yeah. After that, all the masters in Tibet were Tibetan masters, yeah, okay. So Sakya Sri traveled in many places in Tibet teaching the Dharma, and Trupo Lotsawa went around with him as his translator, yeah, okay. So Sakya Pandita Kunga Gyaltsen, very famous Sakya hierarch, Sakya master, he became Sakya Sri's disciple, yeah, okay, very important master, yeah, okay, from the great Sakya tradition, yeah. So Sakya Sri spent 10 years in Tibet working for the benefit of beings, yeah. Okay, so the first year is in Tibet. He taught the Dharma at Drupal Monastery, yeah, and gave many beautiful teachings on sutra, like about the perfection of wisdom, ethics, and so on, yeah. Okay. Okay, so one time when he was at Lamoshe, very important place in Tibet, he was teaching the perfection of wisdom, and a crow came down. He was teaching. He was using a Tibetan text. Let me show you. That means like something like this. Yeah. Here's a Tibetan text. Yeah. Okay. So he was sat there, okay, here's one Tibetan text now, and he was like reading from his Tibetan text, yeah, giving the commentary. So he was reading like this, and a crow came down, grabbed it, and flew up into the sky and took it away, yeah. So this crow was the crow. I don't know if you know, but the crows are the animals of Paudon Lamo. Yeah, okay. We have in our NgalSo tradition, not only us, but in our Gelugpa tradition, we have a very important female protectress called Paudon Lamo, Sri Devi. Yeah, and her symbol is the crow. Yeah, okay. So anyway, this crow took it, grabbed his book and flew to the east. So then he understood actually he needed to go east into central Tibet. Yeah, okay. So, okay. So then he continued. Anyway, he said, "Okay, I must go." But I said, "Okay, give me another commentary. I must finish." Yeah. So then he continued with the perfection of wisdom teaching, and when he was doing the last chapter, yeah, which actually is the one about the guru in the marketplace with the harp. Yeah. Okay. A goddess appeared. Yeah. In front of him, like a lady appeared, and she had a text of the perfection of wisdom inside a mandala offering, and she came from the west, yeah, okay, and she gave him this text, yeah. So then he realized that this was a sign that when he was really old, he would go back to Kashmir, back to India, yeah, okay. Okay, so he knew that he had to go further into Tibet, into central Tibet to teach, but then he would finally be allowed back to India, yeah. And by the way, maybe you don't know, but our Tibetan, our classical Tibetan, the language, yeah, Uchen, that we follow now in our Dharma texts, actually, it's a modified form of Kashmiri, yeah, okay. So our Tibetan letters like kaka, kakaka, all this, yeah, is a modified form of Sanskrit, like simplified form, and is believed to be from Kashmiri, like from Kashmir, where Sakya Sri came from, yeah. So then he went into central Tibet and he taught very important teachings, for example, Nagarjuna's jeweled rosary of the middle way. Then he went to Serpu. Yeah, Serpu's very famous monastery. It's the main monastery of the Karmakajya tradition, yeah. It's the seat, the throne of the Karmapas, yeah. And he said, okay, I'm going to teach Chakra. If I teach Chakra Samvara and Shakyamuni with Vajradakini, yeah, then in the future, many yogis and yoginis will appear amongst you, which is what he did, yeah. And so this also helped to establish the Chakra Samvara tradition amongst the Kajupa tradition. It says in our history, yeah, okay. Okay. After that, he went to Lhasa. And of course, he went to the Jokang, the main temple of Tibet, and he made offering to the two Jowos, the two statues of Buddha, which were brought by the two queens, of King Songtsen Gampo, yeah? Remember, there was a Nepalese queen and a Chinese queen, yeah? And each one brought an important Buddha statue, the Ramoche and the Jowo Buddhas, yeah? Okay? So he made extensive offerings to both of those, yeah? Okay, then he gave many beautiful teachings on sutra. He also introduced the second lineage of Vinaya, of ethics, into Tibet, yeah. And then he transmitted many important lineages, such as Hevadra, yeah, to Trungpa Lotsawa, okay. So these also became included actually in the Mitra Gyatsa and many different collections, yeah, of our tradition, yeah. Like just recently, for example, we were doing the Vajravali, yeah. So in there, actually, I think there's 9 different mandalas of Hevadra, yeah, which we're presently translating, yeah. So okay, so Sakya Sri wasn't the only master that brought the Hevadra Tantra to Tibet, but he's one of the most important ones, yeah. And so many of our and Rinpoche said that Hevadra was an important practice that we needed to do, yeah, okay? So we will do this retreat together in Albaniano sooner or later, okay? First we need to translate the Vajravali, and then we'll do all these kind of teachings that Rinpoche indicated that we should do together, okay? Anyway, Okay, so next, now that this is the next bit is very interesting. It says, up until this time, yeah, when he started to teach the Hivajra Tantra to Trupu Lotsawa, yeah, it said Sakya Sri had always acted in a very greedy manner, yeah, and he'd been given like trunks and trunks full of gold by all the people who were so grateful to receive Dharma teachings from him, yeah. And it said he'd never given as much as a grain of rice to anybody. So even though he looked like super mean and super selfish, it said Tropu Lotsawa never doubted his Lama, yeah. And now at this time, when he was giving this Hivajra teaching, he got this 3 trunks of gold and he gave it all to Tropu Lotsawa and said, okay, finish the Maitreya statues that you started with Pandita Buddha Sri, yeah. So anyway, so he was just collecting it to use later, you know. So this is an important thing that we have to remember. Many times we don't understand the actions of our gurus, yeah, okay? And also, by the way, our gurus are not under any obligation to explain themselves to us, are they, yeah? Because actually they have higher motivation from the bodhicitta viewpoint, yeah? But we, from our side, need to trust many times, yeah? So this is a good example. Sakya Sri looked super mean, yeah? Collecting more and more gold, trunks and trunks of gold, but finally he gave it all for the big Maitreya statues, yeah, to be finished, yeah. And it says, okay, gave most of it for that, yeah, and the rest of the gold he distributed it to the Sangha members, yeah, and to poor people, yeah. So it says then in the year 1212, in the year of the monkey, the 3 great Maitreya statues were ready to be blessed, yeah. But still, even though he'd given 3 trunks of gold, yeah, they didn't have enough money to finish the blessing, the consecration ceremony. So they were like super expensive, because can you imagine how much 3 trunks of gold would be worth these days? It'd be, I don't know, like millions, yeah. But all these things are super expensive, yeah. But anyway, best investment, no? Okay. So anyway, so Sakya Sri then, he decided to travel through central Tibet, yeah, giving teachings and to help people, and also he received the rest of the money necessary to finish the consecration of the 3 great Maitreya statues, yeah. So then, for it says from the 3rd until the 13th, yeah, of the first month, yeah, they performed the blessing, the Rabne Chemmo of the great Maitreya statue of Trupu, and many miraculous signs appeared during the blessing ceremony. So Rinpoche has always had a thing about Rabnes, yeah, for lifetimes, from generation to generation, yeah. And it says, most auspiciously, Sakya Sri's younger brother arrived from Sri Lanka, yeah, and carried with him a sandal box containing 2 blessed lotuses, yeah, and they'd been sent as an offering by the Arhat Gunavatra of Ceylon, yeah, and they'd remained fresh throughout the long journey from Ceylon to Tibet, yeah. So I was talking yesterday. I had very nice evening. I was talking with our Brazil Sangha, yeah, through the Zoom, yeah, which I like very much, yeah. And we were talking about Arhats, yeah. So I was saying that actually the Buddha Shakyamuni, he of course he had like thousands and thousands of disciples who achieved nirvana, who became Arhats, yeah. But he entrusted like the protection of his teachings to 16, or sometimes they count 18 Arhats. And he said, while my teachings exist, you have to not die. You have to stay in the world, and you have to take care, yeah. So now in various like holy places mainly around India and Asia, like China, India, Nepal, there are these immortal Arhats taking care. For example, there's this one in Sri Lanka, yeah. There's like some Arhats in Mutaishan in China. That I was saying yesterday to our Brazilian Sangha that Rinpoche Lama Gangchen said that one of them lives on the Swayambhu Stupa in Nepal, yeah? And he used to say that if you got up early enough in the morning, you could go and see him, yeah? But I was saying yesterday, of course, I'm super lazy, you know, so I never got up to see the Arhats. I thought, I've got Rinpoche, I don't care, you know? But anyway, the Arhat's still there, so seeing as he's immortal, maybe we can still have one chance in the future to go and meet him, yeah? We only just have to identify who he is. That's the only trouble, yeah? Anyway, so one of these, actually, recently we went to see NgalSo Rinpoche in Switzerland, yeah? It's very kind to us, yeah? And he said that of one of these 16 arhats, one of them's Western, yeah, okay. So 15 or 17 of them are Asians, and one is a Western person, yeah, which gives some hope for us, yeah, in the West, yeah. Anyway, so this one of the arhats who lived in Sri Lanka, and yeah, he sent 2 special offerings, which were these 2 sacred lotuses. So one of these lotuses was for Triple Lotsawa, yeah, and which he kept, yeah, and the other one they place inside the heart of the great Maitreya of Triple Monastery, yeah, because when they fill the statues, they put all kinds of incredible things in, like jewels, relics, all the precious things they put inside, like they put in layers, no, with many, many like rolls of mantras, which are kind of like batteries of spiritual power, yeah. So the statues are not like empty; they're completely full of like precious energies, yeah. Okay, and then they're consecrated with ceremonies like Rabne Chemmo, which we saw Rinpoche and our venerable monks and lamas doing many, many times, yeah. And I'm sure in the future we're going to see that many, many more times, no? Like for example, with our new Temple of Heaven on Earth in Albaniano, and our Jampa Temple, no? Our Temple of Great Love in Brazil, and our Borobudur, and many, many other of our places, yeah. Of course, they've already been blessed many times, but we will see again and again these blessing ceremonies. Rinpoche Lama Gangchen, he always gave great emphasis on the importance of that. So whatever Rinpoche showed us, we need to take to heart and continue, no? Yeah. So anyway, so okay, so Sakya Sri by this time had been in Tibet for 10 years, yeah, okay. So after the 3 Maitreyas were blessed and consecrated, he said, okay, now, as was predicted by Palden Lama, yeah, okay. Palden Lama said I have to go east to central Tibet and teach there, yeah. And then finally I can go back to Tibet. This was the prediction. So then he said, okay, now my job here is done. I'm going to go back to Kashmir. So he went back towards the west, still teaching on the way. So this time all the Tibetans were just like, before all the Indians were saying, don't go, stay with us, you know, like strongly protesting that he should not go to Tibet. But now all the Tibetans were strongly protesting, saying, don't go, you know. Of course, no. When you have great teacher, it's like that, no. But anyway, so Sakya Sri said, what I promised to do, I fulfilled. Now I have to go, yeah. So anyway, he left, yeah. So Trupul Lotsawa went with him all the way to the border of Nepal, yeah, and together with his main disciples, yeah, of Sakya Sri, and his main disciples were Sakya Pandita, so famous, yeah, okay, such a great master, so important in Tibet, yeah. Also, Janchu Pel, Dorji Pel, Joba, and Churje Pel, and Trupul Lotsawa. They were the main disciples of Sakya Sri, okay. Sakya Pandita is so important, yeah, such a great master of the Sakya tradition, yeah, okay. Yeah, so he's really, really an important master, Sakya Sri in Tibet, yeah. So when Sakya Sri and his Tibetan disciples were about to part ways, yeah, he presumably went back with the Indian people, no, that he came with, the Indian Panditas, he went back with them, yeah. So he sent all the other disciples away, and then he privately gave Trupul Lotsawa another big pile of gold ingots, yeah. So it said, use this to pay for everything, all the other expenses that have been incurred during my stay in Tibet, yeah, and pay the statue makers and just to spread the Dharma, yeah. So first Trupul Lotsawa said, no, please, I don't want this too much. Please, you take back to India, the Vikramshila monastery, yeah. And he said, please, no, you already gave us so much money for the big Maitreya statues. Please take this gold back to Kashmir. But Sakya Sri's attendant said, no, please, you take the money, yeah. If you take it when it's offered, yeah. If you don't, you'll regret it later, because on the way the gold will just be stolen by bandits. Then you'll regret it now because you didn't get it, and we won't get it either, yeah. So then Trupul Lotsawa said, okay, thank you very much, O Guru, I agree, yeah. So took all the gold, yeah, and then Sakya Sri returned back to India with nothing, yeah. More safe, no? Because in those days it was like really, really, really dangerous. I mean, travel's still dangerous in certain parts of the world, but you know, better not to carry anything on you if you wanted to survive in those days, yeah, okay. And it says, in fact, on the journey home, Pandit Sakya Sri, 83 years old, and his monks, yeah, they were attacked 2 times by thieves, but they left them unharmed because they didn't have any gold. They just had like their Buddhist robes, no? Like nothing interesting, yeah? So in this way, they survived and got back safely to Vikramshila Monastery, yeah? Or what's left of it, yeah? Okay, back to Kashmir, yeah? To the ruins, yeah? So Sakya Sri arrived back in Kashmir in the year 1214, and he helped in the reconstruction of the Buddhist Sangha and rebuilt some monasteries and the temples for another 12 years, yeah? So then he finally passed away at the age of 97 amidst a multitude of miraculous signs, yeah? Okay? So anyway, so he is very, very important master in our tradition, Kashmiri Pandit Sakya Sri, yeah? Okay? And Rinpoche in the past life had a really close and auspicious connection with him, okay? Okay, so after Sakya Sri went home, Trupu Lotsawa went back to Trupu, to his place, yeah? And what did he do? He sat down and started to translate all these texts, yeah? He brought many texts, no? And so he brought back many, for example, he translated many texts about about Buddha Tara, yeah? Written by the great Indian master Chandragarbha, yeah? So he translated many beautiful practices to help people achieve realization of the Tara practice, yeah? Yeah? Okay. So he translated 200 different texts, very important texts from Sanskrit to Tibetan, which still exist, yeah? For example, became the Mitra Gyatsa, many other important things, yeah? And after he'd done this, what did he do next, yeah? He had a son, yeah? Yeah, it can happen, yeah? It was also one way to help holy beings to come into the world, no? So he fathered a son called the Trupu Sempa Chempo, the great-minded one of Trupu, yeah? And this son, he grew up and became the lineage holder of Trupu Lotsawa, yeah? Okay? Okay. So then, Trupu Lotsawa then traveled to central Tibet, where he spent his remaining years in retreat. And he passed away in the year 1225 of the modern era, age 52, yeah, okay? In Tibet, that was actually quite old in the Middle Ages, yeah, okay? Now we think, oh, I need to be like 90 or 100, I don't know, 115 or something, but in Tibet, life was kind of tough, no? Yeah? So in Tibetan medieval culture, to be 50 or 60 was already considered old, and anyway, Trupu Lotsawa passed away, age 52, yeah? And anyway, so his lineage is the true Kagyu lineage, yeah, from the great Indian Mahasiddha Maitri Yogi, and contains the Mahayana lineages of the Vikramshila University, yeah, yeah, and also the Kagyupa lineages of Gampopa, yeah, okay. And so Trupu Lotsawa also, he had many. He was also very famous for teaching the Mahamudra. We have some of his works, yeah, which actually Rinpoche had translated, yeah. So I have like some of these. Maybe we have sometime later. We can look at this also in the context. Of course, we have this book now called the Kagyu Galukpa Mahamudra, very important for us, yeah. Okay, the root text of the Mahamudra, which Rinpoche had transmitted to us during the Vajravali time. Nyima Tolku Rinpoche kindly gave the transmission of the root text of the Mahamudra and also a beautiful commentary on the Mahamudra, yeah? So at that time, when either Lama Michel Rinpoche or myself talk about this, or anybody else who can, no? Well, can also talk about the 5-point Mahamudra of Trupu Lotsawa, if you like, one short text, very beautiful, that Rinpoche in his past life wrote about the Mahamudra, okay? Anyway. Okay, so then in the blue history, the history of Tibetan Buddhism till the 14th century, of course, it continues and it says says all kinds of incredible things, but it says Trupu Lotsawa had one lady friend called Machi Grema, yeah? Who was a meditator, yeah? And she was in retreat practicing single-pointed concentration. And it says, at first she experienced great results, but then she had a violent heart attack because she had heart wind disturbances. Actually, this can happen, no? It's called soglung, yeah? Some people, when they meditate, they don't do it in, let's say, the most skillful way, and they can get like a very strong, like, anxiety that stops them meditating. Even their heart can start to beat in an erratic way, yeah? And they can get like heart problems. So anyway, the advice if you get heart lung is to stop meditating, relax, go and do something else until you recover, yeah? But anyway, it says, one Siddha called Chegom helped her to recover from her illness and bestowed hidden precepts upon her. And then she realized the ultimate truth of reality, yeah? Okay? Yeah? So it says, then news of the Siddha's power traveled far and fast, so Tropulotsawa went and received his healing lineage from him, yeah? Okay? So you see Rinpoche, yeah, lifetimes he has all these same things going on. So also in that lifetime, he became a healer. And as we know, the past Lama Gangchen, our Lama Gangchen, was a really, really great healer, yeah? Anyway, so then this lineage was passed on through Tropulotsawa's son, yeah? To Rinchen Sengye, and then to Bhutan Rinchen Drub, yeah? Very famous master, yeah? Okay? Yeah, who actually was also one teacher of Lama Tsongkhapa, very important master, yeah, okay, and so on it goes, yeah. So anyway, at the end of this chapter in this history we've written about Rinpoche's past lives. I have what Rinpoche said. Rinpoche said, yeah, I have in my possession 2 of Tropulotsawa's magic books on tantric healing, yeah, okay. Actually, I need to go and check out which ones he's got, yeah. Hopefully I've got a copy of the same ones, but he says he's got 2 of them, yeah? And he said they're written in very ancient Tibetan and nowadays are very difficult to read. Actually, the writing looks a bit like Gothic writing in the medieval times in the West, no? Because they used to use like bamboo pens, so it looks like Gothic writing, but it's Tibetan writing, yeah? And it says they contain many special tantric healing methods of Maitri Yoga. And it says Rinpoche said, no? At the colophon, the bit at the end of the book, it's Tropulotsawa said, I wrote these books for future people to use, so I decided to hide them in the heavens, yeah? So Rinpoche said, this shows that these books are termas or treasure text, yeah? So a terma text is a book that is to be revealed for future generations when the right conditions arise, yeah? And also, Tropulotsawa said in his books, in the Menak and the other one, yeah, these books are open to all to practice, to heal themselves, and you can practice them without receiving the oral transmission of the practice from the Lama. Then Rinpoche laughed and said, that sounds like me. So this is a super important point, no? Because normally we think of terma as something from within the holy Nyingmapa tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, no? So they have many treasure texts that were hidden by Guru Padmasambhava, yeah, and his consorts, especially Yeshisogyo and Mandava, no? And so they hid these termas in different places, like in rocks in different places, yeah, in temples, for the future generations to find, yeah, when society was ready for the teaching. So in the Nyingmapa tradition, this is a very big thing, yeah. But generally in our Gelugpa tradition, we don't have like a terma, a treasure text tradition, yeah. But Rinpoche says actually in our NgalSo tradition, we do have a terma tradition of Rinpoche's books, yeah, because they were in the space treasure of his own mind, yeah, to be brought out for the future generations, and that's us, yeah, okay, yeah. And also, this is another very important thing. So Rinpoche said many, 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 many times that self-healing everybody in the world can do, yeah? Doesn't matter if you're a Buddhist, non-Buddhist, if you received initiation, if you had like a lung, if you had an oral transmission, everybody can, for example, let's say in modern terms, everybody can watch Rinpoche's practice on YouTube and they can do the practice if they want to do it, yeah? With no danger. It's because we have this thing in Tantric Buddhism, no, that you need to take, of course, you need to take refuge in the Mahayana vows and the refuge vows and the Tantric vows. You need to keep your commitments, you need to keep commitment with your guru, yeah, and all this, you need to commit yourself to the practice, then you can do it, okay? But Rinpoche said, no problem, my practice, NgalSo practice, open to everybody in the whole world, yeah? And that's why, in fact, now we put Rinpoche's practice, actually fulfilling his wishes, on YouTube, yeah, okay? Because he himself went around the world, everywhere in the world for 35 years, showing his practice to everybody, regardless of whether they were Buddhist or non-Buddhist, anybody who liked could go to his teaching. So that's why Rinpoche said, oh, Trungpa Lotsawa sounds very much like me, because he was doing the same idea, no? Yeah, because this is like how bodhisattvas are. Yeah, of course, from life to life, the external circumstance changes, no? The parents, where they're born, the culture, things change, no? But the deep mind is the same wish, same dedication. So, no, so also it's interesting, no? Especially now, we know, now waiting for the future Rinpoche, yeah? Okay, and we need to make many positive wishes for Rinpoche's future life to manifest clearly, you know, in the best way, in order to continue the guide the NgalSo tradition and help many people and in the environment in the future times, which Rinpoche said would be more difficult than now, even though each time it's getting more difficult now, but he said anyway. He promised to come back and continue to help. But now from our side, we need to create the right cause and condition that Rinpoche comes back in the best way, you know. Okay. Anyway, so Rinpoche said like this, yeah. And then also Rinpoche said, yeah, he said, as you can see, like 800 years ago, Trungpa Lotsawa wrote the Chenrezig Semni NgalSo, how to relax the mind practice of Arya Chenrezig and many other NgalSo and self-healing practices, yeah. And it says, nowadays I seem to be using a lot of them, like the open-eye Chenrezig sadhana, for example, yeah. Actually, the Chenrezig Semni NgalSo, let me just show you, I don't know if you can see, but it's like sitting, it's sitting like this, no? It's like sitting, you can't see exactly, but it's got one leg down, it's like sitting, like one leg in and one leg down, yeah, okay? I don't know if you can see, like this, now, if you can see, like one foot's touching the ground, no? Other foot is in, yeah? One hand's like this, other one's like this, is the relaxed position, okay, it's called, yeah, okay? And also this also we can see in Indonesia, no? In Mendut Temple and in Borobudur, around there, the Buddhas all around there sat like this, yeah. And this was also called the position of royal ease, yeah, the kingly position of relaxation, yeah. So this is actually the NgalSo position, yeah, the king's position of relaxing, yeah, okay. So, and we have a beautiful book called Chenrezig Semni NgalSo, yeah, okay. And also, of course, one practice, Chenrezig Semni NgalSo, which is, well, many actually, but within our NgalSo sadhana, the Feast of Compassion, which you can get from our online shop in Albaniano, if you like, yeah. If you look on our NgalSo website, we have one very nice sadhana, which is many of the Chenrezig practices that Rinpoche used to do, yeah. So, for example, there's Chenrezig Semni NgalSo, yeah. There's Open-Eye Chenrezig, Singanada, 1,000 Chenrezig, 4 Chenrezig, beautiful practices, yeah. I definitely recommend you that you get that one, yeah. It really, really helps, no? Anyway, so Rinpoche says, I'm going to get the text. Rinpoche said, okay, so he said 800 years ago, Trungpa Lotsawa wrote the Chenrezig Semni NgalSo practice and many other NgalSo and self-healing practices. And nowadays I seem to be using a lot of them, like the open-eye Chenrezig sadhana, for example, yeah. And then Rinpoche said, if you look at both my present and previous incarnations, then you can begin to understand reincarnation and the cause and effect relationship of actions and their results directly, yeah? Not like in a distant way, but you can see it's a living example for me, for you, for everybody, yeah? So look, this is me, it's my, you know. Of course, everybody has karma and cause and effects working on everybody, no? But with a holy person like Rinpoche, what's different is that they have like some clarity between one life and the other life, yeah? So therefore you can see more clearly, okay, Rinpoche did that like 800 years ago, then in this life he's still doing that, you know? Whereas I don't know, what we were doing 800 years ago, who knows? Perhaps we were like drunken party goers and we're still drunken party goers now, yeah? 800 years later, yeah? Okay? Because it goes on, yeah? What your habit is, you continue, yeah? That's why it's very important that we try and establish good habits, yeah? Because that's the way the mind will go from lifetime to lifetime, which is why we make an effort to develop ourselves through the Dharma practice, yeah? Okay? So then Rinpoche, Lama Gangchen Rinpoche, continued, and he said, The difference between a tulku, like me, like him, yeah, and an ordinary person, like me, like you, yeah, is that a tulku's space disk is clean and clear. Rinpoche always used to talk about the alaya vijnana, the storehouse consciousness, like this. He used to call it the space disk, yeah? You know, like nowadays we have like all kinds of like storage media on our computers, no? Yeah, like external hard disks. Now we have cloud computing, all this kind of stuff, no? That we can store information is on, yeah? So according to Buddhism, yeah, in our subtle mind, everything is recorded, yeah, okay? Yeah, everything we do with our body, speech, and mind is recorded, yeah? Yeah, so we can't get away with anything, yeah? All the good, all the bad, all the neutral is all there, yeah? Okay? So he says an ordinary person's space disk is actually not clean, clear, yeah? But a tulku's space disk is clean and clear, yeah? So what that means is the compassion and wisdom program keeps running from life to life, yeah? Whereas ordinary people have distorted and dirty space disks, so the programs all get jumbled up and confused, yeah? 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 Oh, okay, so with this we can relate to, no? It's like our computers, no? Finally, it's getting some virus, getting a mess, the data's not going so well, everything's not working so well, okay? So we're not manifesting properly, but as Tulku, with Rinpoche, like Rinpoche and the other high lamas and Tulkus, it's clear, you know, the space disk, yeah? So what's recorded anyway is more positive, yeah? And so the programs there are not corrupted. So it's going from life to life, continuing with the same positive idea, same positive intention, yeah? Not like us, like getting a virus, like literally, yeah? Everything's a big mess, everything's going wrong, yeah? Okay? Anyway, so Rinpoche explained like that, okay? So that's why I wanted to spend some time, I hope you don't find it too long, yeah? But I wanted to spend some time talking about this because actually, if we look at Rinpoche's past lives, we can see a lot of our present Rinpoche, yeah, okay? Who actually, I was just counting before we start doing the streaming. Actually, our present Rinpoche actually will be number 13 of the Lama Gangchen incarnation lineage. And our future Rinpoche will be the 14th Lama Gangchen incarnation, okay? Like I said, I don't know how our lamas in the Gelugpa tradition exactly will count, yeah? But according to what Rinpoche himself, so for us personally, us in the NgalSo tradition, we have our future Rinpoche will be the 14th incarnation, okay? And how Rinpoche is represented within the general Gelugpa tradition, I don't know. But anyway, that depends on our lamas of the Gelugpa tradition to write it, you know, in their Gelugpa histories, yeah, okay? Anyway, so like that. So anyway, so Trupa Lotsawa was the 7th incarnation of Rinpoche, okay? Okay, so I'm now going to talk about the next one. Or actually, maybe what I'll do, I'll talk a little bit about the next part of the preliminary, okay? And then I'll talk about, because we have many Lama Gangchen incarnations, yeah? So I'll talk a little bit more about the preliminary prayers, and then I'll go back to the next incarnation, yeah? Yeah? Who will that one be? Let's see, 1 second, just for your information. Who will the next Lama Gangchen past life be? Let me see, 1 second, let's look here on my computer, on my space disk. Rinpoche always used to tease me about my computer, saying, you know, he had it all in his mind, of course, because he had super memory, yeah? Okay. 1 second. Oh, yes, okay. Okay, so this is a preview, yeah? Okay, till now we talked about 7 past incarnations of Lama Gangchen Rinpoche. Vihara Devi from Sri Lanka, the priest of Apollo of Delphi, King Sailendra Indra of Borobudur, Dorje Dujom, who was one of the 25 main disciples of Padmasambhava, Mahasiddha Lakshmankara, the female Mahasiddha, no? Mahasiddha Darikarpa, Trupa Lotsawa, yeah? That's the first 7, yeah? Okay, and then next, who we're going to have to talk about is very famous Drupa Kunli, yeah? Okay. Okay, so I'll talk about him another day, yeah? Okay. Then we have Panchen Zanpo Tashi, also very famous, when Rinpoche was the second abbot of Tashi Lumpo Monastery in Tibet, and was actually the heart disciple of Gezen Drub, the first Dalai Lama. Then, number 10, Latsun Namka Ningpo, who was a very famous Nyingmapa Turton, treasure finder, and he opened what's called the Holy Land, the Secret Valley of Pemako, in Sikkim, So we need to talk about him, Then number 11, Lobsang Kechog, who was the attendant of the 6th Panchen Lama, and they were both very important because they went to Beijing, to the court of the Qinlong Emperor, excuse Chinese friends for the bad pronunciation, Quanlong Emperor, who was a very famous Chinese emperor who became interested and became a practitioner of Vajrayana Buddhism. He's the one that built the Lama Temple in Beijing, And so a lot of the Tantric Buddhist monuments that we see in China are because of the Quanlong Emperor, And so he was a disciple of the 6th Panchen Lama, and Rinpoche was there. He was the close disciple of the 6th Panchen Lama. So this we need to talk about. Rinpoche's past life in the 18th century in Beijing, in China, Then we have actually, here on my list, I've got number 12, Kachin Sapanla, who actually Tunla talked about very nicely, Okay. This also Michelle talked about, Okay. If you go back to the recordings earlier on when we were talking about Self-Healing 1, if you look there. But actually, there's another one here. But I don't know the name of this Lama, this person, because the other one is, I don't know if you remember, Rinpoche has a piece of skull, and he always used to get it out and bless us with this piece of skull. And Rinpoche said this was from the cremation of one of his previous lives, And on this skull, which many of you have seen, there's the perfect image of a dancing dakini, like incredible, no? It's like skull's like burnt color, it's burnt in a cremation, but there's like this looks like a white dancing dakini, and Rinpoche always said, well, what, he said he was always meditating like that, and so it came out on top of his head, on his skull, okay. But unfortunately, I don't know the name of that. I wish I'd asked Rinpoche, but unfortunately I didn't. So if anybody knows, please can you send me a message and tell me anybody who knows anything more about the skull. He just said this is like the skull yoga, it's the skull practitioner, okay. So actually that means the next Rinpoche will be number 15, actually 15th incarnation, and our present Rinpoche was number 14, okay. So anyway, so please, if anybody knows anything more about that life of Rinpoche, please do kindly drop me a message. Maybe some of our older practitioners, who spent a lot of time with Rinpoche, they might know something. So please, if you do, send me a message, okay, so we can include that in our histories about Rinpoche, true histories of Rinpoche, okay. Anyway, so next time we will talk about Drupa Kunli, okay. If you can't wait, there's a book which you can buy on the internet, which is something like The Life of Drupa Kunli. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. Let me have a quick look. I've actually one time Rinpoche bought many copies of this and gave out to everybody. But actually, I think I gave my book to Carolina, in Chile. So I don't have the book anymore, but I've got the Tibetan book actually. But there's a book you can buy in English and French, Drupa Kunli. Let's have a look what it's called. It's called anyway, the Divine Madman. Okay, in English it's called that. Okay. So if you can't wait, you can order it on the internet or whatever, and you can start reading it already. So by next week you'll know what Drupa Kunli is. Actually, our book in English or French is actually volume 2 of the Tibetan one. There's actually 2 volumes, and the first volume is about how Drupa Kunli and all his monastic education and how fantastic he was as a monk and everything, and all his practice in the monastery. But this nobody's interested in. Everybody's interested in volume 2 after he achieved all his realizations and wonders as a yogi. Okay, we'll talk about that another time. Like I said, if you can't wait, buy the book. It's a really, really good read. But now, okay, let's go back to Rinpoche NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing 2, yeah. So we're at page in the book. We're at page 53, yeah, which is prayer and request to receive our root guru's blessing, yeah, Lama Gangchen Rinpoche's blessing, yeah, okay. So this is when we recite this prayer actually, this was actually written by Kyabje Trijang Dorji Chang Rinpoche's root guru, yeah. And it says, so it's Rinpoche's name, and it's like in the Tibet, in our tradition, we have these like verses, yeah, of praise showing the qualities of the lamas based on their name, yeah. So Rinpoche's name was Lobsang Tupten Trinli Yarpel, okay. So Lobsang means supreme virtuous mind. Lobsang means good mind, excellent mind, yeah. So it's okay. So it's so they make this verse like together with his name, yeah. So glorious auspiciousness of the supreme virtuous mind is showing his quality as Lobsang, yeah. Okay. Then Tupten. I'm sorry, I need to look the Tibetan. Yeah, can't read the phonetics. Yeah. Tupchen Tempe Trinle Yano Da is a divine action of the Buddha's teaching, like a waxing moon. Yeah. So Tupten means the Buddha's teachings. Yeah. Yeah. Rinpoche's name was Trinle Yarpel. Okay, like Trinle means like enlightened action. Yeah, awakened action, and Yarpel means increasing. Yeah, so that's why this line is. Divine action of the Buddha's teaching, beneficial like an increasing moon, yeah? Acting exactly in accordance with the mental capacity of living beings for their development and maturation at the feet of this glorious guru. We make this request, yeah? And the tune of the mantra, yeah, of Rinpoche's name mantra, Oma Guru Vajradhara Samati Gyana Shasana Dara Samudra Sri. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Sorry, that's His Holiness Kyabje Trijang Rinpoche's mantra. Sorry, Rinpoche's mantra, Oma Guru Vajradhara Samati Muni Shasana Kama Uta Vadanye Sri Bhadra Vasamanye Sawa Siddhi Hung Hung. That's Rinpoche's name in Sanskrit. Okay, so it's Oma Guru Vajradhara, yeah. Then Lobsang Tupten Trinle Yarpel, translated into Sanskrit, yeah. Sawa Siddhi Hung Hung, yeah, that's Rinpoche's name mantra, okay? Which now, for us now, is very, very important. We need to say that, yeah, to connect with Rinpoche, yeah? Yeah? We need to keep the line on. Rinpoche always said, just think of me, okay, I'll be there, yeah, say Lama Kien, and he was saying, say Lama Kien, Trinchin Sawe Lama Kien, Kabne Kundu Lama Kien, and so on, yeah. But if we say Rinpoche's mantra, it's like very immediate, connect with Rinpoche, and we need to connect with Rinpoche because we need to keep our inner joy, our inner light, and our inner inspiration, yeah. Because as you all know, since Rinpoche passed away, so we had passed through very sad time, very difficult, horrible, yeah. But what we can do is keep the line on, connect with Rinpoche, and then the light is coming back, the inspiration is coming back, yeah? Okay, the line is still on, yeah? Like the famous song, yeah? The song that, is it Mariette's song? Anyway, one of our songs, no? Being with you, the song which says, I want to be with you, the line is always on. So now we need to do like this, heart to heart, by saying Rinpoche's mantra, yeah? So it's very good that our Sangha, we're still collecting Rinpoche name mantra. Please connect as many as possible, yeah? Okay? Why? Because A, for you it's good, and then we strengthen our connection with Rinpoche and can create a positive interdependence for Rinpoche to return in his future form, yeah? Okay? Anyway, and the tune that we always sing, Oma Guru Vajradhara Sumati Muni Shahasane Kama Utavadanye Sri Bhadra Vasamanya Sawasiddhi Hum. Okay, so actually this tune was made by one very special disciple of Rinpoche called Teresa, yeah? And now she passed away, but for many years she lived with Rinpoche and us, in the Kumpan Institute in Milan, and then later in Albagnano, Now, actually, I heard some after she passed away. I'm not exactly quite sure the whole story, but it was from the oracle or what. But then they said somehow Teresa was like some kind of dakini. Please, can you, Sangha members, send me the exact story, and then next time I'll repeat it, So Teresa, who was, let's say, a little bit special, very special person, in many different ways, Anyway, so she made this song, which is like become sort of like our theme tune, no? And Rinpoche liked very much, and also Teresa used to like do this special like dance, when she used to sing it, okay, which I will not replicate, So anyway, so we always sing Rinpoche's name mantra with this tune, but of course you can also make other tunes, or you can just say Om Guru Vadadara Samati Muni Shasanakama, And also we do like this, no? You've seen us many times doing this, we call it the Garuda Mudra, So since the first day, when Rinpoche teach NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing to us in 1993, he said, now we need to do this. And we're saying, what is this, Rinpoche? Why do we need to do this? He said, this is like the Garuda, This is a Garuda flying in the sky, So we need to fly up towards enlightenment. And he said, in Indian mythology, there's this special bird called the Garuda. Actually, the Garuda is the king of the birds, and in Hindu mythology, it's the bird of Vishnu, one Hindu, very powerful Indian god, So he said this Garuda has many, many special qualities, especially dispelling all kinds of negativity, in Hinduism, okay. And he said these Garudas, when they are, how do you say, the egg is hatched, is produced. No, they're in the nest. There's this egg, but the baby Garuda is inside the egg, and it's not like a normal bird that it needs to peck its way out and then gradually it's like kind of helpless when it gets out the egg, no? And then the parents need to feed it for like weeks and months and years, and then finally it's strong enough and it can fly away. He said no, the Garuda, inside the egg, it's like it has like a little baby Garuda gymnasium, and it's in there training. It's doing like gymnastics, It's training inside the egg. So the minute it breaks through the eggshell, what it does, it goes and it goes straight up into the sky, and it never comes down ever again, So I said this is a symbol of our spiritual development. We need to be like Garudas, So what he means is now either we are ordinary or we look ordinary, But inside, we need to train in NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing. And inside here, in our heart chakra, we have what we call the life-sustaining wind, Our very subtle mind and our very subtle wind, Which for most of us is like a formless blob of energy, okay? But with time, with practicing self-healing, together with Guya Samaja, Chakra Samvara, Yamantaka, Kala Chakra, all the special practices that Rinpoche taught us, we can train and develop this subtle body, okay? And finally, when we die, the physical body will fall away, and this illusory body will fly up into, we will arise awakened, enlightened, at the moment of death, And this is what many of the great practitioners of our Gelugpa tradition did, including Lama Tsongkhapa, many of his close disciples, and also Panchen Zampo Tashi, who was Rinpoche's past life, Panchen Zampo Tashi is a very important master, who was the second abbot of Tashi Lumpo, and he was also the heart son of Gaiden Drub, the first Dalai Lama, okay? So he also achieved this rainbow body, Okay, now many people will be saying, oh, what's the difference between a rainbow body and an illusory body? Honestly, I don't know, because I haven't got one. I know it's like a deathless, enlightened body that it survives death, okay? And that can go out, that when you die, that's your real you, okay? That's your real self, And then the physical body drops away, and then it takes rebirth again in a new ovum and sperm, and then grows up again, like Rinpoche, no? So like it's like changing the body, is like changing the car, okay? But inside there is always this pure body, this pure mind deeply inside, no? So Rinpoche said, we need to become like Garudas. So therefore, to symbolize that we need to become like Garudas and we need to develop this pure rainbow body and an illusory body, yeah, that will survive death, yeah. So this is the guest house and this is the guest, yeah, okay. So therefore, like just when you move into a hotel, you don't spend so much time like decorating a hotel room, yeah. So we should just do the minimum to take care of this. Okay, of course, needs to keep healthy and so on, but not necessary anymore because it's only temporary. It's like if we will go to a hotel for 2 days, we don't repaint it, no? So we do the minimum necessary to take care. The real us is in the heart chakra, yeah? Yeah? We need to work on it so it becomes like the pure version. Somebody like Rinpoche La has already got the pure version, okay? So now what we need to do is ask Rinpoche in his pure rainbow body to descend back into another, yeah, into another human rebirth. Please come back and continue to get Rinpoche La. Please come back and guide your disciples, us and all your future disciples, yeah, okay? Next generation and so on, yeah? So please come back as soon as possible, okay? Yeah. Anyway, so Rinpoche said we need to become Garudas. So when we do like this, yeah, we're like the Garuda flying. So I can't put my camera back any further, but we do like this, no? And our fingers are like the wingtips of the Garuda. So we're going like this, like. So also in our Mahayana teachings, yeah, we need a bird needs 2 wings, yeah. A winged bird, all it can do is go around in a circle, yeah. It can't fly, yeah. We've seen birds with, like for example, here in front of here on the sea, no. Sometimes I see birds who unfortunately have damaged a wing, yeah. So all they can do is sit there on the rocks. They cannot fly, yeah. So we need the 2 wings of method and wisdom, yeah. So that means the wing of method means we need to practice the vast path. That means we need to, like Rinpoche last said, no? We need to open our small selfish heart into the big open heart of love and compassion. We need to put other people first. We need to develop empathy, yeah? Yeah, this is the vast path. This vast amount of peoples we need to have empathy towards, yeah? So from this opening the heart, from this empathy, from this developing concern towards other people, finally comes out the mind of bodhicitta. So I'm going to sneeze. We've got the fan here, sorry. Anyway, so we need to develop bodhicitta, yeah, okay? Then we need to develop the other wing, which is the profound path. That means we need to understand the nature of emptiness. We need to understand about change, impermanence, interconnectedness, how things do not exist in the way that they appear, how we are superimposing a fantasy self onto ourself and other objects. And as a result of this design fault in our mind, this superimposition of a fake self, fake permanent self, on ourselves and others, we are just miserable all the times and creating pain and suffering for ourselves and others. So that will not do. We need to change. We need to fix our minds. Yeah. So we need to practice the vast path. Yeah, and free our mind from suffering. So to get to enlightenment, to awakening, as Rinpoche said, we need to be like a Garuda and fly up in the sky. Yeah. Okay. So this is why we do this. Okay. And then we have many other Garuda exercises within our Trollcore tradition. Yeah. Our Tibetan yoga tradition, yeah. But anyway, Rinpoche always insists since the beginning, probably because of Truppel Lotsawa and his magic book, I imagine, that we need to do like this, yeah. And we were like, oh no, Rinpoche, really, do we have to do this? He said, yes, I insist. And now it's part of our practice, yeah, okay. But anyway, also it's opening up the heart chakra, yeah. And actually, I must say, all these mudras and these gestures, they do help to gather the energy. And with time, you will learn to love them, yeah? Yeah, you start to feel it, then it's okay, you know? Okay, that's right. What time is it? Let me just see. So anyway, so please accumulate as many of Rinpoche mantras as you can. So there's obviously all kinds of different ways to do that, you know? We don't exactly have a fixed way. For example, you can imagine Rinpoche in front of you, sending you energy. You can imagine Rinpoche lie in your heart, yeah? And he's sending out lights, you know, like 5 wisdom lights, 5 elements to healing other people. That's very beautiful. Whatever you feel, or just feel like, you know, I mean, when Rinpoche passed away, you know, we all felt so lost, no? like completely like bereaved, no? So just feel Rinpoche here, like we're not alone. Rinpoche is with us, yeah. Then all the light is coming back, yeah, the inspiration, yeah. Then it's okay, you know. And I'm sure many of you are practicing and you're starting to feel that Rinpoche is with you, yeah. So it's okay, no? Because it's what lineage means, yeah. That from generation to generation, the lineage of blessing goes on, yeah. The feeling, like Rinpoche's beautiful feeling, we can still connect to if we open our hearts up towards him, and we do that by reciting his prayer and his mantra, yeah, and also just thinking about him, trying to follow his advice and do everything, you know, as much as we can, no? To continue all the beautiful things that we start together, yeah. So that's what we all have to do, yeah. Okay. So, Oma Guru Vajradhara Suhumati Muni Shahasane Kama Uttavahatanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasidi Homa Guru Vajradhara Suhumati Muni Shahasane Kama Uttavahatanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasidi Hum. Also, Rinpoche said that when we do this, yeah, okay, like the Garuda, not like the Garuda's wings, yeah, something like this, no? Like we usually do like this, but it's like a bird wing, no? So first, when we're doing like this, we imagine that we're putting down all the sickness, all the suffering, yeah? So NgalSo, Rinpoche always said that all the Buddhist teachings is in two words, Nel and So, yeah, okay? And Nel, I mean, it's like in English, like relax, yeah? In Tibetan's NgalSo, okay? So the first syllable, Nel, means all the negative dependently arising causes and conditions. This we don't want now, so we need to put down all the suffering, all the sickness, all the causes, all the conditions, yeah? Or, for example, specifically of the lower realms, like the hells, the ghost state, the animal state, but all kinds of suffering, actually of humans, gods, everybody, yeah? All suffering, we put it down, we don't want it, yeah? We pacify it, we stop it, yeah? Okay? And then when we do like this, yeah, we breathe in, yeah, okay? And we imagine coming down all the blessings of Rinpoche, especially, and all the gurus, the Buddhas, the holy beings, so lights and nectars, and all the holy energies absorb into us. We're filled with all this holy energy and blessing, okay? Yeah. So, Oma Guru Vajradhara Suhumati Muni Shahasane Kama Uttavahatanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasidi Hum. So we can do like each time we say Rinpoche last mantra, touching one chakra like crown, throat, heart, navel, and secret. We have 5 chakras, no? Or we can do like I was doing then, like crown, throat, and heart chakra, yeah? Or we can do like crown, we can do all 5 chakras. So all these are possible, and you see at different times, yeah? Also, sometimes you can do very slowly, sometimes you can do fast. Anyway, there's many different ways to do, but the important thing is to feel it, is to connect, yeah? Yeah, feel some connection with Rinpoche and with our lineage of blessings, okay? Then everything is a lot better, okay? So this is what we need to do. So I saw on the WhatsApp, we have some groups now where our Sangha members are collecting like many, many millions of Rinpoche mantras. This is really good, really important, yeah? I saw in other Sangha groups, no? Even when their gurus not even pass away, they're asking to repeat many hundreds of millions of guru mantras, yeah? So please I'm not saying we have to put a fixed number, but let's please continue, yeah? And continue to connect collectively with Rinpoche, especially at this time when we're asking Rinpoche to manifest for the next generation of NgalSo practitioners. So anyway, so that's we will feel better if we do it, and also we're creating a positive tendril for Rinpoche to come back, yeah? And to continue to lead his NgalSo tradition for the next generations of people, yeah? So That's something very nice we can do together. Yeah, and we can all do that wherever we are in the world. Yeah, okay. So let's please try and do that. Okay. Okay. So anyway, so thank you very much. Now we're going to continue. We're going to conclude with the rest of the NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing practice, because we shouldn't just talk about it. We should always do it. That was Rinpoche's advice. So each time, each time we hear about something, we should put it into practice. So hopefully we're developing some more appreciation of Rinpoche's qualities as a holy enlightened being, as a high bodhisattva, a Buddha, no? Yeah? Going from lifetime to lifetime. So when we do the Guru Yoga, we can think about that, yeah? Okay, so what before we did invoke calling Rinpoche to stay in our heart, yeah? Okay, so now we'll go to our Om Guru Buddha Siddhi Hung, and we'll do the very 5-minute NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing practice, okay? Om Guru Buddha Siddhi Hum. 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 Hey Yam Ram Labam. Yam Ram Labam. Yam Ram Labam. Yam Ram. Yam Ram. Shuddhi Shuddhi Soha. 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 Opening the lotuses. Pam lepe majanku. Pam lepe masepo. Pam lepe manompo. Pam lepe mama. Pam lepe maka. The seed syllables. Om ahum tramri. 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 From the seed syllables arise the symbol of the 5 Supreme Healer Buddhas. Ri le na so do je janku ri. Tram le no po se po tram. Om le do je no hom po hom. Ah le pe ma ma po ah. Om le ko lo ka po om. From the symbols arise the 5 Supreme Healers, the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Om ko lo nan se doji. Ah pe ma che doji. Un doji mi kyo doji. Ram no burin chod. Rina so doji. Completion stage meditation. Healing the 5 chakras and transforming our minds into the pure minds of the 5 Supreme Healers. Lama Tuyen Doji Kyen. Om Ahamoga Siddhi Hum. Om Ahamoga Siddhi Hum. Om Ahamoga Siddhi Hum. Om Ahamoga Siddhi Hum. Om Ahamoga Siddhi. Healing the navel chakra. Lama Rinchen Doji Kyen. Om Aratna Sambhava Hum. Om Aratna Sambhava Hum. Om Aratna Sambhava Hum. Om Aratna Sambhava Hum. Om Aratna Sambhava. Healing the heart chakra. Lama Mikyo Doji Kyen. Om Ahashobhya Hum. Om Ahashobhya Hum. Om Ahashobhya Hum. Om Ahashobhya. Om Ahashobhya. Healing the throat chakra. Lama Chodoji Kyen. Om Amitabha Hum. Om Amitabha Hum. Om Amitabha Hum. Om Amitabha. Om Amitabha. Lama Nangse Doji Kyen. Om Mahavarojana Hum. Om Mahavarojana Hum. Om Avarojana Hum. Om Avarojana. Om Avarojana. Vajramaster initiation. Secret empowerment. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Wisdom Mudra empowerment. Om Mahasukha Hum. Om Mahasukha Hum. Om Mahasukha Hum. Om Mahasukha. Om Mahasukha. Word empowerment. Om Bhishwa Shanti Hum. 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 By the power of the truth, peace and bliss forever. By the power of the truth, peace and bliss forever. By the power of the truth, peace and bliss forever. Lama Kuncho Sona Kyap Suchi, Rani La Sel Dodil Sonecho, Dona Chusonecho Dada Handom, Gecho Kundu Jishin. Dona diso nampa geweso, Jinye sapane hinyo duda, Nobu bancho shambala gene, La mehelangi runpata shisho. Ni modele sendele, Ni me kuya handele shin, Nin senta hatutele pel, Kuncho sungi jingi. Kuncho sungi nutuso, Kuncho sungi tashisho. Through the white virtues we've gathered here, may this world become Shambhala, the treasury of jewels, and may we quickly complete the path of Sutra and the highest Yoga Tantra. At dawn or dusk, at night or midday, may the three jewels grant us their blessings. May they help us to achieve all realizations and sprinkle the path of our lives with various signs of auspiciousness. Okay, so thank you all very much for listening. So, like Rinpoche said, NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing. This is his guide to Shambhala Nyayik, yeah? We were saying the Panchen Lamas made the guide to Shambhala, and we read it now, and we probably concluded it was super difficult to get to Shambhala, at least I did. You have to swim across dangerous rivers and mountains, and there's cannibals and all sorts. So I thought, no chance for me to go to Shambhala like this, so I'm betting on this one, Rinpoche, easy way to get to Shambhala, yeah? So we can all try and get there together. And actually, I was talking today with Eleanor about Borobudur, as usual. And you know, on the gateways of Borobudur, yeah, they have like these makaras. It's like this mouths, like crocodile mouths, yeah? It's called a makara. Inside the crocodile mouth is a lion, yeah? So the makara, apart from anything else, was the symbol of the Sailendra dynasty. That was on their flags, yeah, okay? But the lion inside the mouth of the makara is actually the lion, and I was thinking maybe this is the lion banner of Shambhala, yeah? So maybe it's also like a hidden message that by going up through Borobudur we can get to Shambhala, yeah? Okay? So anyway, Lama Gangchen's Guide to Shambhala, Self-Healing. So if we like to take the royal road to Shambhala, this is the easy way to go to do it, yeah? Okay, so let's continue this interesting and beautiful journey together, yeah? And please, who likes, please, on what day is it? Tuesday. On Thursday, I'll be continuing with the explanation, okay? Same time, 7 to 9 Central European time, okay? So thank you all very much for listening. See you all soon. Have a good day, a good week, a good month, and a good year, okay? As Rinpoche always used to say in Kala Chakra, yeah? So see you all soon, yeah? Thank you very much, yeah?